not worry.
Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to a brand new Do Not Worry stream. We're hanging out on this Monday evening. Folks, it's 10 o'clock right here in Lebanon, the heart of Lebanon, folks. Now, some of y'all might be confused as to why I may be wearing this here shirt. Well, let me tell y'all, folks, it's for one simple reason. We gonna be trucking tonight, folks. We're going to be doing some American Truck Simulator while talking about Hasan Piker's multiple controversies this week, folks. Interviewing a Zionist by the name of Duss, who, I'll be frank with y'all, yeehaw! That's what I think of Zionists right there, folks. Now, I'll be real with y'all. I didn't know who Duss was. But apparently, no CH, I have not cleaned that shirt. We gonna be trucking a little bit later. But before the trucking, we gotta talk about Hasan Piker. He's also in trouble with Hila Klein, the Zionist IDF Raider of Ramallah terrorist. So, look, I'll be real with y'all. I don't really care about none of these topics. I just want to get to some trucking. So, before we get into any of that, folks, take a second. And if you want to watch me truck on a regular basis, go ahead and subscribe to Do Not Worry Gaming. The link is in the live chat pinned to the top. I do myself some American Truck Simulator, folks. This here my uniform. I run Bunny Cargo, baby. We drive. And I owe $300,000 to the bank. And we all gonna be driving to pay off my debts. Okay, that's the American dream. Driving a truck, getting in debt, and buying trucks and getting in more debt. And the cycle continues. I can't stop driving until I've paid off that debt. Now, anyway, y'all mosey on over to Do Not Worry Gaming. The link is in the live chat. It's also in the description of this here video. Now I'm gonna click refresh right now, and I better see that subscriber number of 837 gone up to at least 839. And if it don't, I'm gonna spit in this here bucket. It's still at 837. That means I'm spitting in this here bucket. God damn it, yeah. So anyways, folks, let's take a second to just, by the way, Haley D has gifted 5 memberships before the live stream even started. Haley D, thank you. Now, for those of you joining us for the first time, I don't usually speak with this accent. I don't usually wear this shirt. This is reserved for Do Not Worry Gaming, but tonight, synergy, folks, I'm cross-promoting this here channel because we're trying to get to 1,000 subbies. I'm refreshing. Are we at 839? No, we're not. Yeehaw. I think you guys want me to keep spitting. So y'all better subscribe or I'll stop spitting. I'm going to reserve my spitting for subscriptions. Now, anyways, if you guys would like to support this here channel, we got ourselves, Haley D with another 5 gifted memberships, folks. She's going crazy. Haley D. Yeehaw. W's in the chat for Haley. Now, folks, we got ourselves a little Patreon if you guys would like to support us. That's the only way to keep the lights on in this channel. A combination of Patreon, YouTube memberships, and super chats and stuff like that. You guys keep the lights on. You make sure I can keep the crew paid, keep the show running, folks. We got a crew that you guys know and love. So check out Patreon and find a tier that's right for you. We also have different memberships and different levels of memberships on this here channel. So go ahead and pick one that works right for you. You can also support us in the live chat like Haley D's been doing so generously by gifting memberships or sending super chats. But you don't got to do none of that to be supportive, folks. All it takes for y'all to be supportive of this channel is to like this here video, subscribe to this here channel, subscribe to Do Not Worry Gaming if you like video games, if you like Dark Souls, if you like Frog Detective, if you like South Park games. I'm going to be playing some South Park. I'm going to be playing some Seafood. We're going to be playing indie games, AAA games, American Truck Simulator, folks. A lot of Truck Simulator. That's what I can promise you. But a lot of games, folks. Might be playing some Dark Souls tomorrow night with my best friend, Elias. So let's refresh and see if we got any subscribers. Still 839, folks. We did it. I promise y'all, if we get subscribers, I'll spit. Yeehaw. Fuck a Zionist, folks. Fuck them. Don't fuck a Zionist. Fuck Zionists. So anyways, folks, thank you so much. Let me take a second to thank some of our lovely patrons. Got your patrons like Aliyah Lejeber, Dominic Selger, Daniel Knackley, Ian Watson, Kaula, and Ahmed. Ahmed, we got some Muslims supporting us here. God damn it. Bader, Elias, Salibi, Maroon, Boost, Lehman. Are all these people Arabs? God damn. Dr. William Watfa, Donna Ahmed, Danielle Richards, Julia Kisculia. Anyways, folks, we love all our patrons. Thank you so much. We love you. Thank you for the support. Exclusive content coming for patrons and members soon, folks. We're going to do an AMA for members and patrons and Ask Me Anything, myself and their crew. So look for that very soon, folks. I've just been busy making so much content for everybody. Oh, we got some super chats coming in already. Yeehaw! Bob Vorn sends $2 and says, hey, we need a spit every super. You know what? Every super chat, y'all getting a spit. Let me lube up my mouth a little bit. Y'all are getting a spit for super chat, folks. That's it. Oh. Bob Vorn, yeehaw! Madness Arcade sends $5 and says Hasan has always interviewed a variety of people with different backgrounds. He said in the past, has Zionist friends he always tries to educate with grace. That's true. Now let me turn off this music here. Now that's true there, Madness Arcade and Madness for the super chat. Thank you. I don't know if I can keep up the spitting all night, folks. I might have to take that back. Marina Nimitz sends another $2, folks. Marina, you get a spit. Yeah. Some of the people in the live chat right now have been watching my trucking adventures. And again, if you're just joining us right now, this is a random live. This is a chill. Let's just have some fucking fun tonight, folks. Let's not take things too serious. Okay, let's start. Hasan Piker is getting himself canceled. And I'm going to truck later while reacting to some videos. Veronica H. Song, folks, sends 6 shekels and says, morning, morning, Veronica. Yeehaw. So we got Zai Squirrel, folks. A very controversial squirrel. I'm going to switch to my regular accent a little bit. You need to put a dip in and spit into a water bottle. Yeehaw. I need to start getting some like mouth tobacco. What is it called? Chewing tobacco? Destiny put a hit out on Hasan, really? I don't got Destiny super not interested. Anyways, folks. Hello, Lizzie Rosa. We love y'all. Everybody's giving me advice to chew. They're telling me to chew on some gum and I can spit more. So we got Zai Squirrel. This is the first I ever heard of this, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. Zai Squirrel says, why does Hasan do cozy interviews with genocidal Zionist Matt Duss, who is one of the most odious scumfuck cunts alive, describing the Palestinian resistance as blood and soil Nazis while playing a key role in spreading the genocidal atrocity propaganda rape hoax to progressives and liberals to get their consent for the genocide. But he would never have on people like Aaron Mate, Max Blumenthal, or Ali Abunimah. Hasan the Hun, why are you promoting the most odious scumfuck cunt scum alive instead of people who actually do good work? And let's see some examples of what Matt Duss has done and said in the past. Things like, I endorse this piece 100%, and the piece in question is progressive except for Jew hate, pure anti-Semitism on the purely anti-Israel left, opinion Haaretz. Okay, so he thinks that there is pure anti-Semitism on the pure anti-Israel left. So he's conflating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. Okay, we've seen that before. Matt Duss also says, what we actually witnessed was not the Palestinians mounting a violent struggle for justice, but a far-right theocratic organization committing mass murder in the name of blood and soil nationalism. Every word of this excellent Eric Levitt's piece. Okay. TNR, Matthew Dusty says, Israel's methods are not as extreme as Russia's, and it's very important to acknowledge that. Oh, that's fucking psycho shit. But its goal is nonetheless the same, the prevention of the other's independence. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said explicitly that he helped sustain Hamas in power in Gaza precisely because it served the goal. Matt Duss has also said denying the rape and sexual violence that Hamas committed on October 7th is disgusting. So is using that to that excuse the humanitarian catastrophe Israel is intentionally inflicting on the Palestinians. And finally, he says, very much worth noting that ICC includes rape and other acts of sexual violence in the list of Hamas offenses. It's very clear that these things happened, and it's ridiculous that some continue to deny it. Look, the insistence, the whole rape happened debate kind of bothers me because, in my opinion, look, there must, of course, have been some sexual violence. I don't, because there's sexual violence in every in every war, every single scenario where like war or revolutions happen. Unfortunately, it's something that fucking happens. Now, the way that the media frames it as like a systematic, like top down, this is like a rule. It's part of like the Hamas charter. You find a woman, rape her. Like that is the part that is insane. And their insistence, the media's constant focus on like the rape is just to make people okay with killing, mowing down a bunch of Arabs. Essentially, that's what it is. You don't think Israelis spend their time R-wording or raping Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails? That's what they do. They even protest for their right to do so. When Israeli guards get in trouble for raping Palestinian prisoners, Israelis take to the streets to protest, to free the IDF guards, to allow them to rape more. So it's just the insistence, like, so, yeah, people that insist, like, no, nothing happened, and I need to see the proof. It's like, okay, I don't need to go that far. But yeah, the fact that they always talk about it and the media makes it a point to like, look at these barbaric Arab men. They just can't wait to get their hands on white women. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to fear monger so that when you're watching the news and they're like, hey, they just dropped a bomb on Gaza, you go like, hey, aren't these those sicko fucking weird rapists? And you're like, they deserve it. And that's how you manufacture consent, essentially. Madness Arcade sends $5 and says, if you're I know you're a Pokemon fan. Have you considered playing Pokemon Unite or going to Pokemon World Championships at big event next year in San Francisco? Probably not. I'm not going to go to no Pokemon events. I suck at the Pokemon card game. I haven't played that in fucking years, but I do love Pokemon. I mean, I grew up loving that shit. The most I would do at this point, I feel, is like play a Pokemon video game, to be honest with you. Play Pokemon Unite. So maybe Pokemon Unite, but they're all just on Nintendo consoles. Can you like stream Nintendo games? Can you do that? CH says, Masal Khay Ripakaye. Yeehaw! Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. By the way, we love y'all. So anyways, this Matt Duss character seems like a total piece of shit. Okay, I mean, I get it. But yeah, like someone, Nogzolotl or someone else was saying, Manus Arcade was saying in the chat, Hasan has always interviewed people from a variety of perspectives. So like, I guess it's okay, but if he's like actively denying, I mean, look, fuck this guy. It depends on how he questions him too. If it's like but I haven't watched the interview, by the way. If it's like if Hasan was cozying up to the guy and being like all friendly and buddy with him and not challenging him on what he said here, then that would be a problem. I haven't watched the interview. We're going to watch just a little bit of here just to gauge the tone. If anyone here has watched it in the chat, please let me know how Hasan treated Matt Duss. Was it just like a fluff piece? Was he just being super friendly with him? Or did he bring up the problematic things that Matt has said in the past? I would like that context before watching the video. Bad Empanada says, so quote tweets what Zai Scroll says and says, it's time to dump Hasan Piker, folks. And Bad Empanada, I mean, you know, one of the bigger Hasan Piker allies, although he does criticize him openly all the time. So this was a controversial moment, folks. Bad Empanada. Let's see what some people said right here. Fresh Skittle says the knee-jerk reactions to immediately crucify people who have done enough to deserve some grace is kind of a bit much. It is fair to call out this and critique and demand accountability, but to just cut off seems short-sighted unless there's some information I don't have. Look, I mean, I agree. Even if this is probably worthy of criticism, you know what I mean? But Hasan has done way more good for Palestine. The advocacy he's done for Palestine, you know, people are trying to literally get him off of Twitch because of how much of an anti-Zionist he is. So this is Bad Empanada, folks. This is what he does, okay? Bad Empanada is a professional troll, okay? He likes to act a little crazy and unpredictable, okay? And if you can predict Bad Empanada's next move, that means Bad Empanada is not doing what Bad Empanada is supposed to do. Even if Bad Empanada starts talking shit about this show and this podcast, there must be a reason behind it. So I wouldn't take that too seriously. It gets going after Ethan Klein gets boring after a while. Bad Empanada is just trying to probably mix it up a little bit, folks. And again, Hasan deserves the criticism. This is just Bad Empanada's way of over-exaggerating and blowing everything up. He's literally selling CPS merch, folks. So don't take it too seriously. Bad Empanada, by the way. Friend of the show, good Empanada. I mean, look, he came on this podcast when we were like just growing and stuff. And he like came and did like a super fun interview. He's a really nice dude. Always going to be a big Bad Empanada fan. Over here, folks, don't expect the Do Not Worry podcast to turn on our friend, the good Empanada. The best Empanada. Jake, likes acoustic says, Hasan is my favorite streamer, but he's wrong here. It happens. It was wrong to do, but like, he's solid. Yeah, exactly. I think everybody, most people have a reasonable take on this matter. If you're just like out to like fuck Ethan Klein and shit, like it's fuck Hasan. Sorry, the next story is Ethan Klein. Here's Ethan Klein This is a tweet by a friend of the show, North Star Radio, who was on the show just a few days ago, folks, for a very nice interview. Again, shout out to North Star Radio, Comrade Casey, folks. We love our friend North Star Radio. He shared this Instagram story. He says, you know you fucked up when Ethan Klein is on your side. And Ethan says, it's so funny how the machine turns on Hasan for platforming an actually decent person like Matt Duss. I love how he calls him an actually decent person. Like, everyone agrees that Matt Duss is a Zionist piece of shit. Some of the things that he said are extremely problematic, and Ethan, of course, describes him as an actually decent person like Matt does. Of course, we need to be elevating voices like Matt and shutting out people like Bad Empanada and the psychotic squirrel. Maybe now you can return to when you understood that Bad Empanada is a terrible person that should never be platformed. Oh, Ethan. Oh, Ethan Klein. We got a reply by Zai Squirrel. Being called psychotic by someone who live streams his year-long psychotic Zionist death spiral is hilarious. Every Zionist accusation really is a confession. Friend of the show, Andrea Jones says, listen, I think the interview wasn't great, but Ethan is a moron and a bad faith actor. This is weak and answer. This is weak answer. Ooh, she's going against friend of the show, Comrade Casey. We got friends of the show going against one another, folks. She says, this is weak and surprising coming from you. Be critical for sure, but don't use Ethan as a way to make a point in this way. You know he didn't watch the interview and barely knows who Matt is. Also a good point by Andrea, but I do not agree that this is weak and surprising from friend of the show, Comrade Casey, folks. I will disagree there, Andrea. But Andrea, we have another one of your tweets pulled up a little bit later. There you go. Got some good takes on the Twitters. So this is Hasan's interview with the dude, Matt Duss. Also, the name is kind of problematic, and I like North Star Radio also called that. I was like, the fuck is this shit? Spicy back and forth with former Bernie Sanders advisor Matt Duss. So the name is also like maybe taking it a bit too lightly, like spicy back and forth, I guess. But was it spicy? I guess. Sorry, I missed the live chat. Did you guys say that it was a spicy back and forth, or was it very friendly? Yes. By the way, Kami, Aaron Mate is Daniel Mate's brother, and they're both Gabor Mate's children. Which is kind of crazy. By the way, Daniel Mate, friend of the show, folks. I was a guest on Bat Hasbara. We love Daniel Mate and Matt Lieb. Sorry, let me see. Manus Arcade is clarifying about Pokemon. He says Pokemon Unite is on mobile as well. Also, you don't have to compete in the Pokemon Championships. You can go as a visitor, no different than a convention. That's fucking awesome. Look, if I make it to San Francisco, I would love to go to a Pokemon, any sort of Pokemon convention. Any kind of convention in San Francisco would be fucking awesome. Madness, reply, just like tag us. Don't send a super chat. Are you going to be going to that? And how much of a Pokemon fan are you? It was a spicy back and forth. No, it's still there. Okay, so let's look a little bit of it. Let's watch a little bit of that. So North Star. Let's go. Let's watch a bit of that interview.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, son?
What's going on, Matt? Pleasure to have you on the broadcast. Welcome to the Hasan broadcast. Here it is, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Duss. As I said earlier, a second ago, Matt Duss is the former foreign policy advisor to Bernie Sanders and now currently...
Let me know if the audio is good. I am... I'm not wearing headphones. I'm winging it, folks. I hate fucking wearing headphones. I've seen streamers and people that do this and they wear headphones all the time. Then they have that, like... They have their skull changes shape to account for the headphones. I ain't doing that, okay? I would be damned if I'm gonna have a misshapen skull. So, Veronica says, sends a very generous 15 shekels. Sounds like baloney to me. I did hear with my own ears through Mr. Divorcely making a very clear violent threat, calling his fans to finish with Hasan. Oh, is that Destiny? Really saying to finish with Hasan? Oh, it's low. The volume's low. Okay, we're gonna raise up the volume, folks.
Working at the Center for International Policy. Matt, someone called you evil yesterday. For the record, that's how I presented you, and it reminded me that I was meaning to have you on the broadcast to talk about both the Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin.
I mean, at least he's starting off the interview by saying that like people are calling you evil, so he's making it clear from the get that. There's kind of oh, by the way, sorry, speaking of pets, you guys were talking about pets. Is a little sorry, my Cookie's here, folks. I'm so sorry, I forgot to show you guys my Cookie. He's here. He's taking a nice little nap. He had a nice little dinner. My girlfriend Demi was here earlier today, and she made him a special little treat. Chicken livers, believe it or not. She cooked some chicken livers for Nata and Maki, and they both enjoyed the living shit out of that. So he's having a nice little comfy nap, full of mommy's special treat, folks. Let me try to get a little better look at my cookie. Got little Makuki folks being extra cozy. We got the cat cam today. Maki came to chill, not that somewhere lurking around the house or just like also chilling, enjoying that chicken liver dinner. By the way, yeah, hit us with some Maki stickers in the chat. Designed by the one and only Ethan's Basement, folks. Friend of the show. We got so many fucking awesome friends of the show. I love it, folks. The greatest friend of the show. 190 of you tuning in. Thank you on this very casual. This is an extremely chill stream, folks. Like, I do apologize in advance. I had a long day, beautiful day, spent it with my girlfriend, a beautiful weekend actually together. So didn't have time to like dig into like all of this stuff. You know what I mean? I was touching grass, living life. So where were we? Okay, let's watch a little bit of this.
That is supposed to be taking place tomorrow, but then also talk to you about Democrats, their failures on Israel-Palestine, your opinion and your evolved opinion on Israel-Palestine personally.
It's pronounced divorced Eli. I hope that is this how it is? Veronica, I'm sorry. Divorce Eli. I said divorcely, right?
And you know,
we got Andrea Joan in the chat. What up, Andrea? Actually, let's pull up Andrea's tweet. Here's Andrea as her take. The Duss interview was sloppy. It was. There should have been pushback, or he should have not been on. Having said that, in no way am I going to throw Hasan away because of it. He's been a huge voice for Palestine for years. I'm in no way here to softly push people into Zionism. Again, another very reasonable take. I haven't even seen the interview, even if it's a horrible interview. You can have an off day. You can make a bad judgment call. I saw a lot of tweets saying that Hasan needs to finally like hire a manager, someone to help him vet who he needs to interview, etc. And look, even we shouldn't crucify Hasan for having an opposing voice on. We need that. We need debates. We need disagreements. We need civil disagreements. Unlike his debate with Ethan, which was just yelling over each other and people hurling personal insults at each other. We need civil conversations because that can help turn a lot of moderates to the side that you want them to turn them to. Okay, now I don't know what this interview was. Again, if it was a softball, if he just let this guy get away with a bunch of like Zionist shit and like try to launder his image, even though look, the interview didn't do well on Hasan's channel. Like just look at the view count on this shit. I was checking this out earlier today. Hasan does, he gets very good views. Like his interview with the guy got 68K views. Everything else he has is at 200 or 100K, 143. Okay, 90K. That's not that high, but I mean it's higher. It's lower than everything else. And his apology, his explanation, is at more than double the views or double the views. So no one even fucking watched this fucking thing. No one cared. So that's also a good sign. Like that's a good sign of his audience. They're like, you know what? Fuck that, bro. We're not gonna fuck with this interview. And that's also a choice you have as a viewer. You can tune out when one of your favorite streamers and one of your favorite YouTubers maybe is tackling a topic that you don't or has a guest on that you might not agree with. You can just not watch and also fairly criticize. It's fine. You can fairly criticize Hasan, but and again, don't take Bad and Panada seriously when he's like, fuck Hasan. He's just having a good time, bro. Like that's at least how I'm interpreting that. Oh, I'm so fucking hungry. I'm just realizing. And Andrea wants to clarifies in the chat. She says, yo, I love Comrade Casey, by the way. Disagreed with him a bit, bringing Ethan into it, but I love North Star Radio, to be clear. We know, Andrea. It was just a civil disagreement, friendly disagreement. We all love Comrade Casey. We are all one community. And it's not even that big of a disagreement, you know what I'm saying? It's all chill.
But what happened, like how that attitude change took place for you, maybe that can be instructive for others as well, and numerous other things that we can talk about. And I'm very excited to have you here. Thank you for coming on.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, glad to be here. Thanks so much, man. Looking forward
why
to it.
DC Democrats strongly back Israel?
Of DC, outside of this little bubble that exists, that dominates our lives, that like
let's start with the Pete Buttigieg
well,
stuff.
Matt, we are actually currently talking about Pete Buttigieg's
let me know if the audio is okay, folks.
Horrible response, or very Pete Buttigieg style response, if you will, to the question that came from the Podjons on a podcast where they asked him, like, what do you think about Israel-Palestine? Like, what do you think about what's going on? And he gave this incredibly wishy-washy answer. Let's take a look real quick.
More than half of Senate Democrats just voted to oppose the sale of over $500 million worth of U.S. bombs and guns to Israel. Would you have voted to oppose sending those weapons?
I think we need to insist that if American taxpayer funding is going to weaponry that is going to Israel, that is not going to things that shock the conscience. And look,
as opposed to weapons that don't shock the conscience.
Yeah.
I love
upholding the law.
No,
Yeah, we talked about this fucking response on the show last week. Like, this looks like an AI video, but like, who gives these answers in 2025? Like, maybe in 2006, yeah, you give those answers about Israel, but like at this point, bro, as long as Israel's not shocking the conscience, and you put your arm around your friend, it's like, you put your arm around Israel? You want to put your arm around your friend, Israel, committing a genocide, bro? You spit on that fucking friend. That's what you fucking do. Anyways.
I love weaponry that doesn't shock the conscience, like when it's, you know, specifically not baby melting weaponry. I mean, that's all weapons. That's what weapons are. Anyway, sorry.
We see images every day that shock the conscience. So much of this is complicated, but what's not complicated is that if a child is starving because of a choice made by a government, that is unconscionable. And I think especially including voices who care about Israel, who believe in Israel's right to exist.
Like, if it shocked your conscience that much, stop sending them weapons. And then when you ask them, hey, should we stop sending them weapons? It's like, bro, did it shock your conscience? Okay, so sign like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have bunker busters because you don't know how to fucking use them. Do you give like a psychotic person a gun? Do you give like some rabid, violent motherfucker a gun? No. Why would you give Israel bunker busters and shit?
Who have stood with Israel in response to the unbelievable cruelty and terrorism of October 7th. I think there's a reason why so many of those voices are speaking up now too, because this is not just something that is on its face and in itself a moral catastrophe. It is also a catastrophe for Israel for the long.
Michael C. Dude probably wants a job on the 2028 campaign. Yeah, not with this answer. Not with this answer, he doesn't. This ain't gonna cut it in 2025. You know what I'm saying? This is not gonna fucking fly. So ain't no Democrat, ain't no leftist, ain't no young person voting for these bullshit answers anymore. Like, we're over that shit. You know what I'm saying? Noxolato says the problem is Hasan is often harder on chatters. Look, I feel that. But like, look, chatters are like anonymous like beings. Like, he gets a billion messages a second. He's gonna yell at him. Doesn't make it. This is like a guest that he has on. You know, like a reporter. If he yells at him, he's going to get like a reputation, and no other reporters are going to come on for interviews. So it's different. You shouldn't yell at chatters, but I mean, it happens. You know what I mean? Some chatters could be annoying. None of you guys are all the greatest chatters, of course. Of course.
How do you think the next administration?
So, Matt, you had until recently a different opinion, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken. I mean, you've been very progressive. You are a lot more progressive than the average person in American politics in terms of your analysis on Israel. But like, there have been.
Oh, okay. He's kind of glazing him right here.
Some instances I feel like where I think we have a disagreement ultimately on like Zionism in general, probably a reasonable disagreement. But overall, if you don't mind elaborating on your position for the people that might not know, like what your take.
Veronica says, someone tell Anthony to watch this. What you talking about? Write the name underneath that, Veronica.
Is on what is currently going on in Israel and Palestine. And then we'll talk about Pete as well.
Sure. No, I mean, I guess we may disagree on, Zionism or some other questions like that, but my position on conditioning aid and stopping arms sales has been that we should do it for a long time.
Yeah.
This going back many years. I mean, and the point is not just to kind of punish Israel; it's to uphold U.S. law. Because U.S. law like explicitly prohibits providing U.S. weapons to governments that are abusing human rights. And that's one of the weird things about Pete's answer is that like he answered the question even if he didn't intend to when he said that this government is making a choice to starve children. The law says that that's one of the things we cannot support, and arms must immediately stop. So if he's familiar with the law, he should understand that he kind of answered his own question, even if unintentionally. In terms of things that we might disagree with, happy to chat about that. But like my own view.
Oh yeah, Rai says Sam Cedar has Matt Duss all the time. He has been excellent on Ukraine. Yeah, so apparently, and I saw a tweet to that effect. Like, why are people so hard on Hasan, but no one mentions when Sam Cedar does it? And that's a good point as well. I mean, if you're gonna be hard on Hasan, why not be as hard on Sam Cedar? You know, I think as long as these people are being challenged. If you're new to the channel, the spit bucket is just a bit for fucking folks. Yeah, as long as you challenge these motherfuckers, it should be fine, right?
Initially, going back for a long time, has been that the U.S.-Israel relationship is just completely bonkers. It exists in kind of this weird Alice in Wonderland. I was listening to your stream early on. The way we talk about this, like Steny Hoyer, that we could go on and on about this. It's like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah.
In what?
I was just about to say the audio shit.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is because like what Rashid Tlaib told me was basically that like politicians are still malleable, and it does seem like this unshakable force. Like the loyalty and defense of Israel is just like impossible to break through. But it's very clear that, at least from her feedback, that they do see people at their town halls and they do get scared. And I think Diego was a great example of this, like a person who has been pro-Israel in his town hall when faced with that question had to be like, oh, well, maybe I would have voted against weapons. There's also the other side of this where people talk about like the distinction between defensive weapons and offensive weapons.
Madness sends $5 and says Hasan made a video reacting to the backlash. Yes, and we're gonna watch those.
Weapons. I wanted to hear your perspective on that.
While I do some trucking.
Sure. Well, first, in regard to what Congresswoman Tlaib said, I mean, she's right. It is so important for members to kind of hear from constituents and to get grief and to get complaints. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. That for the longest time, they've only ever felt like they had to fear pressure from their right. They've only been looking over their right shoulder when this question comes up, and it's because of a lot of work by a lot of people, activists and others, who that they understand like they need to check their left shoulder as well. And that Politico article that you quoted from. Where Pete went to kind of clean up the mess. I mean, it's saying, this is going to be a litmus test going into 2028. And I think we saw from Mamdani's campaign something really important. There's good reason why it's a litmus.
I mean, he's trying to say the right things here, but he's not being challenged really. Look, we're not going to watch this whole thing. This is an hour and 40 fucking minute interview. But the important point is Hasan has done more good, folks. Okay. Criticize him for this. Let's see his response. Actually, I want to see what he responds, and then we'll have a better idea of if he's taking how he's taking the criticism. If he's giving people, if he's listening to people, or if he's just trying to be a bit brash about it. Now, I do have, I saw a clip of this, but let's watch a clip of it.
Nasty shit all up and down Reddit. Saw that was getting canceled simultaneously by Bad Empanada as not being sufficiently pro-Palestine, which is true. That's right. It's mine now, so I'm pro-Israel. I'm Israel Chai. That's right. I can't wait for my major media career. None of it is relevant. We'll talk about something.
Do you guys want me to do some trucking while we watch this? Should we try or no? I kind of want to try. Oh, but I also want to see if I truck, I'm not going to be able to see the live chat, am I? No, I'm not. Let's wait for the trucking, folks. Let's give the truck in a second.
Some of it is a joke. It doesn't really matter. Squirrel has been trying.
I'm just too excited to truck, folks.
Cancel leftists for a while. Fed behavior? No. They're very passionate about this issue. They've yelled at me in the past. Again, like I said, we can have healthy and reasonable disagreements with one another. It's not a cancellation. You deadass platform is genocide denier. The irony, of course, is that if you were to listen to the interview, these are some of the things that I addressed. This is some of the things that he also said. He says it's a genocide.
He may be making this decision because he's sensing a change in the weather, but that change in the weather is what's very important here. That's the result of not only of the inescapable, undeniable reality of starvation and genocide, but a movement that has been working very hard for many years.
I do believe that a lot of people are going to come back in here today and just make a mountain out of a molehill, which is fine. If you guys want to be on this wavelength, that's all right. I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm going to keep talking about things that I think are relevant and important. Yeah, because he's covering his ass out 2 years of genocide support. I told you what my policy is. You say it's a genocide. You want to stop weapons transfers to Israel, and you are an advisor in the foreign policy blob, keep pushing. As long as you don't try to limit others who are more radical than you, try to stop others, and try to actively deplatform others, if you are unconditionally and uncompromisingly on board, then it is what it is. Good. Only time will tell if these people are being cynical or being bad. But it's not like we agreed. There was a back and forth there that I think a lot of people fail to consider. Also, the conversation was supposed to be about Ukraine and Russia, which obviously I can't stop talking about Israel, which is why it is what it is. I mean, you're talking to people in the Democratic Party structure like Zero Shock. They've had horrific takes up until this point, so you very clearly pushed them on things and didn't tone down your language at all. I know. The issue is a lot of people think that a conversation that you have with a person who's like a foreign policy guy who you have disagreements with, that you let your disagreements be known, is going to lead to like a bloodbath. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm talking to someone.
Madness Arcade sends another 5. Madness, thank you so much. Being extremely generous in the live chat today. Hasan is doing journalism. I mean, Bassem Youssef said he'd love to interview Netanyahu. We aren't attacking him. Should he have had him on? Probably not, though. I mean, hey, I hear you. Madness Arcade says, I wish. I can't afford it, nor do I have the resources to attend. I feel you, man. Yeah, it's expensive, man. If you're going to San Francisco just for a convention, that would be crazy. If you have like some friends or family, you're going on a trip, and you so happen to go to a convention, unless you already live in the States. If you're traveling to the States for a convention, like that's crazy expensive. I usually get to be able to do like one trip to the States a year, like 3 weeks, around 3 weeks time. So if I'm there and there's like a fucking convention that's there while I'm there, I would love to go. Like if I'm there in like November and there's like New York Comic Con or some shit, my ass is fucking there, bro. Whatever kind of convention. I love conventions. I mean, speaking of conventions, that's where I met Kevin Sorbo. You guys want to see? I mean, I talked about that. That was awesome. I mean, I've been, I've showed my photos with Giancarlo Esposito and Carl Urban,
an ultra.
But we talked about Kevin Sorbo because he was complaining about male cheerleaders just a couple of days ago. Boom, baby. Pay $20 for this photo. $20. Madness Arcade says, I wish I could go. I don't have the resources. Maybe one day. Well, Madness Arcade, look, promise me that this is your final super chat of the night. Save that money and go to San Francisco and fucking go to the convention. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe we'll go together, okay? This is your final super chat of the night. Every other super chat that you want to send, put it in an imaginary San Francisco Pokemon championship fund. And I would love to fucking go. I'm not fucking kidding. But only if you go. Kevin Sorbo, look at that. I paid $20 for that photo. Isn't that funny? Anyways, you want to hear the story? Watch the previous stream. Anyways, that was in 2014, by the way. 2014. I didn't know about his right-wing shit at the time, just to clarify. I had no fucking idea. He was Hercules. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Hercules.
Zionist or someone who is like...
I have a picture with... I took a picture with fucking Bill Cosby before all the rape stuff came out, too. So I have pictures with the worst people, folks.
refusing to say it's a genocide. Like, you know what my red lines are. You know, someone who is a significant hurdle, like someone who says like, oh, you can't speak about this, you can't speak about that. Someone who places the feelings of Jewish people cynically in front of like an actual genocide. The irony, of course, as always, is that it's the
Madness Arcade sends another 5. What did I just say? He says, will you stream Unite on mobile then? I don't know if I do mobile gaming, I'll be honest with you. Like, playing a game on my phone sounds like a nightmare, Madness. And I'm loving the stream setup. I'm loving Steam, all of that. Like, so if I'm like not even tempted to play on my PlayStation anymore. I just love this whole brand new setup and the PC and all of that. And like my steering wheel, look at that, Madness. Send me some good driving games, preferably truck drive from the truck driving variety. I'd love that. And stop sending, save it for San Francisco. We're going to the Pokemon convention together.
The same principle behind the Nelk boys. Like, I had a conversation with them in the immediate aftermath where I directly told them, like, what you guys did was like interviewing Adolf Hitler, and there were a lot of journalists that were tried at the Nuremberg trials in the aftermath of the Holocaust for their participation in it. And yet that in and of itself did not come across as like being sufficiently antagonistic to a lot of people, because some of you guys, I think, are more invested in the bloodbath of it all and not necessarily the information you can derive out of that. I told you what the reason was. I also didn't know a lot of the stuff that Matt Duss had said, to be fair. And
look, after this, we're also going to be talking about the Ethan Klein, the Hasan versus Hila and Ethan's response.
I wish I had known so I could just like push back on some of this stuff, right? Having said that, I think there is a difference with the way that I have adversarial or adversarial interviews with like someone like Matt Duss.
Andrew Jones says you got to come to Seattle. Dude, I would love to go. I would love to truck. I would love to, at this point, now that I'm learning how to drive a truck, I would love to just like rent like a camper van and like drive across. Because the nicest thing about the States, I think, is like the landscape. It's a beautiful, like just geographically, forget all the wars and all the capitalism and everything they've done to ruin the rest of the world and the colonialism and all of that. Just the land before time. Imagine just when dinosaurs roamed America. It was a beautiful country. We just love to drive through all these states. I want to go to Minnesota and meet North Star Radio. There's a lot of you guys that I want to meet, so it would be great.
Versus someone like at least Stefanik, right? Crystal Ball's Stefanik interview is fantastic. Everybody loves that. Just apologize, man. I will never apologize for that. And the fact that you are demanding an apology for this is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Who the are you? What the are you saying?
No, he should. Guys, he should not apologize for interviewing someone. At the end of the day, he's a journalist. You and also like you can't appease everyone. There's half the internet that wants him to apologize for interviewing Rashid Al-Haddad. Like, you know what I mean? So he had a guest on. Okay, he says that he pushed him. I didn't watch the interview, to be honest with you guys. If I want to make a fair criticism and a fair critique, I need to watch the full 1 hour and 40 minutes, which I don't even want to do. I ain't got the time. Okay, I got a truck. I got $280,000 left of my debt that I got to pay off, folks. Where am I going to get an hour and 40 minutes to listen to this interview with Matt Duss? Maybe while trucking. Maybe.
Who the do you think you are? What do you mean? Like, this is what I'm talking about. The sense of entitlement that a lot of people have in this situation is so insane. I don't know much about Matt Duss beyond the interview and his commentary yesterday. He seems like a fine dude. What's going on? It's because of a bunch of the stuff that he has said in the past that even I think are, you know, early genocide apologia. And I wish I knew more about that, because what he's saying right now is that it's a genocide. You got to stop, you know, weapons transfers. And part of the reason why I wanted to address some of that was because like I wanted to hear what he would say in defense of like offensive weapons versus defensive weapons. And I made these exact points about like how you wouldn't give Nazi Germany anti-aircraft weapons, right? Like those are the kinds of conversations that I think are important to have. Yeah, he conceded on that front. That's the other thing. Like there was a bunch of things that he conceded on in that situation. And I think overall, as I've said before,
Aki is fucking knocked out, bro. He's enjoying that dinner. Bob the Human says Matt Duss compared Zionism to communism. Okay, that's crazy. Fuck. Did he say that in the interview with Hasan? Veronica sends another 15 shekels. Veronica, also, please stop. Both you, I'm going to put you and Manus Arcade on timeouts. Is Manus Arcade that suggested the new Palestinian channel? I saw Helen Hadid's podcast. It was good. Thank you. Yes, he is. Madness is a great source for all, like, sort of anything pro-Palestine, whether it's media, movies that are being produced, social media platforms. A fantastic resource for all of that.
One of the things that I find important to address is having disagreements with people even to the right of myself that would still be in the center-left sphere. He also appeared on Amy Goodman and Sam Cedar. I know. But it's really interesting because obviously their audiences are not going to yell at them and be like, you're platforming an ultra-Zionist or whatever, you're a Zionist. The difference there is because I am more accessible than those people. And also because, like, I think I am more radical than Sam Cedar and also Amy Goodman even as well. The people who need to hear this aren't even here yet. Chatters will bring it up over and over again and you will lose your temper and yell at them and that will turn into a cancellation of his own. I know. This is usually how it works. I guess the only thing I will say is eyes on the prize. Keep it pushing. Eyes on the prize. You must have a singular focus in this moment. If you hate me for it, if you think I'm a Zionist, you know, fine. I've been having to deal with the...
Anyways, we get the idea. We get the idea. Now, you guys want to listen to Bad Empanadas? We're going to listen to a little bit of Bad Empanadas video. And then we're going to move on to Hasan and Hila. Or, yeah, I think I just want to truck and, like, not listen to any of this stuff in the background. Because trucking, like American Truck Simulator, folks, is just it's like a comfort fucking game. I just want the open road. You know what I mean? I want to tune out all this bullshit and Ethan and Hila Klein and all that shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to think about that while I'm fucking trucking. So let's be done with this stuff. And then for those of you who want to join me on a trucking adventure, let's see how the gaming channel's doing. Let's see how that gaming channel's doing. 841 subs. Yeehaw, folks. Let's get to 850 today. Get to 850. I'm a spit again. 10 spits. 5 spits in a row. Big old juicy spits. Okay, here's Bad Empanada, folks. Let's refresh because it ain't doing good.
This guy is Bernie's foreign policy advisor. So Hasan Piker invited liberal Zionist propagandist Matt Duss onto his stream for a nice chat. Why Bernie's foreign policy advisor broke with DC Democrats. He even uploaded it to his channel. He never uploaded his talk with me.
Oh, then he changed the title to Spicy Back and Forth. Why Bernie's foreign policy broke with DC Democrats. So he changed
to his
the
channel. So this guy is Bernie's foreign policy advisor, or ever was Bernie's foreign policy advisor. Should probably ring alarm bells as to what Bernie Sanders always has been for anyone who hasn't noticed that yet. But let's look at some of Matt Duss's openly extolled stances. Matt Duss, in 2016, said that he endorses a piece that said that the anti-Israel left is pure anti-Semitism. He actually wrote a piece December 14th, 2023, while the genocide was ongoing. I remind you, at this time, I already made my video making the legal case against Israel for genocide in Gaza, saying that Israel's methods are not as extreme as Russia's, and it's very important to acknowledge that. At that point, Israel had already killed more civilians in Gaza.
Yeah, we read these. That's a fucking insane take. Israel's methods are not as extreme as Russia's. Like, bro, take that back. You got to get on camera and, like, explain yourself for that one. You got to be like, yeah, I fucked up. That was a bad take. Matt Duss.
Russia had killed in Ukraine during
I don't want to know who these people are. I don't want to know who Matt Duss is. I was more than happy not knowing who this person was. And I want to continue being more than happy not knowing who he was.
Entire war. He called Palestinian Resistance a far-right theocratic organization committing mass murder in the name of blood and soil nationalism. That is how this guy characterizes Palestinian resistance. And he spread the mass rape hoax. In December 2023, he said, denying the rape and sexual violence that Hamas committed on October 7th is disgusting. And then, he did a token thing. So he's using that to excuse the humanitarian catastrophe Israel is intentionally inflicting on the Palestinians. This is pure liberal Zionist bullshit. This is the Ethan Klein stance. Then he said, in May 2024, well after the mass rape hoax was fully debunked, so complex and political, advisor complex that he has motive think someone like this is no longer of much use to the Washington DC sort of think tank industrial complex and political advisor complex that he has mostly been involved in for his entire adult life. But this guy, you kind of have to consider that he's in this sort of in-between thing where he was like a Bernie Sanders advisor, so he's going to be too progressive for the mainstream Democrats, but he's also too pro-Israel for anyone who's like someone posturing, someone who's on the cusp of being consumed by the Democratic Party entryism complex. There's not really much of a home for someone like him. He's not needed by the mainstream Democrats. He's not even needed by people like Bernie Sanders anymore, who have gone full mask-off Zionists at this point. So he needs...
I mean, yeah, Bernie is a Zionist, but I wouldn't say full mask-off Zionist. He's like an old-school, like, kind of liberal Zionist. Like, Israel has a right to exist, and Hamas is a terrorist organization. But he's the fucking one of the only people out there with a voice and a platform calling to, like, fully stop sending Israel weapons and money and stuff. So, again, the question is, like, I think when someone does more net positive, like, yeah, do I want Bernie? Like, I want to smack Bernie across the face. In a theoretical way, he's old and brittle. Even if he were young, I wouldn't, and spry, I wouldn't want to do that. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, Bernie, like, just call it a genocide, man. Like, stop wasting time. Like, that's like airplane style. You know what I mean? But again, like, he's like, oh, is it a genocide? Oh, I don't know. It's like, come on, man, come on. Like, Bernie's not gonna say, I don't think Israel should exist. You shouldn't expect that. You know what I mean? So, like, gotta take things as they are.
An alternative income stream. He needs a safety net. And his way of doing that is making a podcast. So he's trying to leverage his disgusting career as a, like, Washington, D.C. foreign policy genocider to sort of get out of that inorganic sphere where you are propped up by people with lots of money and lots of interest in genociding people in the third world for money. He's trying to get out of that by making a podcast called the Undiplomatic Podcast. And you can see they don't really get many views. This podcast is something that no one cares about. And they immediately uploaded the, like, Hasan Piker talk highlights of their podcast channel. It's like the best thing that's ever happened to them. They got fucking Hasan Piker, you know, like this big streamer.
Oh, so they have the Undiplomatic Podcast, 1.41K subbies. They got 100 views, 65 views. Ooh, that makes me feel better about my channel.
Big up-and-coming, soon-to-be mainstream media personality onto their podcast. And they're ecstatic. They are so happy about this. It's the best thing that ever could have happened to their podcast. It already has like 10 times more views than they usually get. So this is just irresponsible from Hasan Piker here. He did not challenge this guy. This was not an adversarial interview. It's not inviting someone on to rightfully destroy them. It's inviting someone on to promote them. That's what this was. It gets worse with this guy as well, by the way. I haven't even shown you what I think is the worst thing, which is not this. This is pretty bad, though. Like, I was just...
Okay, so according to Bad Empanada, there wasn't enough pushback, or any pushback at all. Hasan would disagree. I mean, look, I get it. Andrea says Bernie's also in his 80s. Try to get an 80-year-old to change the way they're doing anything. Good luck. Yeah, exactly. He's just old. Like, Bernie's been doing this, bro. He's fucking 80, man. Okay, like he's set in his ways. Okay, so the things, some of his takes that you might not agree with, you kind of have to accept the fact that they're not going to change. But he's out there fucking fighting to defund, to stop funding Israel. So I will appreciate Bernie for that. Okay. And Joan seems to agree.
Looking through his tweets for anything.
Yeet the Rich says Bad Empanada is just wrong. He did challenge him
on Israel, and he's like, this is a tweet from August 2024, in which...
And Fab says, when Hasan platforms people, they get more coverage and more money. I mean, that's also probably true.
He said,
in a way,
I know folks who previously served in the IDF who I'd be thrilled to have in the White House. This is someone who Hasan Piker invited onto his stream to give him a nice little boost. Here is Matt Duss going on Democracy Now!, arguing against the ceasefire in Gaza and justifying Bernie Sanders.
So Michael C. In the chat isn't fucking with us. Michael C. says, Matt Duss wasn't just like, I think Israel has a right to defend itself. He was calling the left Hamas-loving rapist apologist, but we're going to be okay because he musters some criticism of Israel. No, I don't think anyone should be okay with Matt Duss. I think it should be okay for Hasan to interview him, but as long as the interview is adversarial, as long as he's challenging him, and as long as he's trying to get clarifications, and there are follow-up questions and shit. If it's a puff piece, if he's literally there to like promote his podcast or promote a book or something, you know what I mean? Then that is extremely irresponsible. So like people seem to be mixed in the chat. Again, I haven't seen the full interview with Matt Duss, nor do I want to. But some people are saying that Hasan did push him and there was some pushback and there was some debate, while others say that there wasn't enough. But I think that Hasan should have the right to platform almost anyone, to be honest with you, as long as he asks the right questions. It's not like the Nelk boys having Netanyahu on. You know what I'm saying? Here's a little bit of Maki, folks. Ooh, we got a super chat animation. Madness Arcade with another 5. Madness is not listening to me, folks. He's not listening to me. Billie Eilish's brother roasted Pete's response on TikTok, also saying he just ruined the chance to win 2028. Also, when you can look up Pokemon Unite's roster to see who you would main. Also, y'all gonna do the rest of the links. Also, you didn't finish yesterday. I'm going to listen to the rest of the songs while I truck. Okay, we're going to listen to the rest of the songs, Madness, while we do some trucking. And remind me to look at the guys at the end. I'll look at the Pokemon. I'll see who I'll main. I only remember the original 151 Pokemon and like the next generation. Anything beyond that, I don't fucking know.
Anti-ceasefire position. Hasan Piker's latest interviewee, folks.
Okay, anyways, let's get to Hila versus Hasan, folks. That's the fun stuff, isn't it? I just want to get to trucking USA. Okay, let me open up the next tweets. I hate using yeet as a reference, bro. It always kind of makes me laugh, though. Yeet. Can't believe that guy has 90,000 followers on Twitter, bro. That's funny. Yeet. 2,000, folks. Ugh. So much Hasan stuff, man. Oh my god. Kind of tiring. Hey. Sorry, opening up the links, folks. Opening up the links. This is the behind the scenes. This is how the sausage is made. This is how the sausage is made. Yeehaw. Okay, so got some more love from. But you guys like the new animation, by the way, the new super chat animation? Look at that, fire and shit. We need to change it to something that fits the channel, but I kind of liked how cheesy this was. Madness Arcade seems to love it as well. Sends another 5. Says this doesn't sound like the person Twitter was criticizing. You think Matt has changed, or is he purposely lying about his stance? He's probably trying. He knows he's going into unfriendly territory. He knows he's going to an extremely leftist audience on the Hasan Abi broadcast, so he probably did try to, you know, change his tone a little bit. All right. I was just scrolling through Twitter, folks, yesterday, and then I see this tweet. Hasan explicitly says Hila Klein is a valid military target live on Twitch. Any armed resistance, doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcaster's wife. This dangerous Nepo baby LARPer makes Kenneth Copeland look genuine. I was like, holy shit, did Hasan go like, guys, go out there, grab a gun, and kill Hila Klein? I was like, god damn it. What's happening? Let's take a listen.
Or DFLP, PFLP, or even former Fatah militants, okay? It is perfectly legal, perfectly valid, and perfectly moral, okay? 100%. This is not like this is not a gray area. This is black and white, okay? It doesn't get more black and white than this. Israel is in the wrong. Israel is actually engaging in an apartheid, which is a crime in and of itself. Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza and an apartheid in the West Bank. 2 crimes in and of itself. And every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like wife that participate in the Israelis. Doesn't matter if they're DFLP, PFLP.
So, I mean, out of context, chopped up to bits. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? But he's talking about, you know, the right. Oh, what happened here? We still streaming? Oh, something went wrong. I can't see my live chat. Folks, I can't see the chat. Oh, what happened here? All right, 1 second, folks. My live chat disappeared on me. Why is that? I'm going to refresh one more time. Can't see my live chat. Okay. Time to adapt. Okay, I got you guys open on my phone. The problem is, if I move my phone... Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to open my episode here. Sorry, guys, just 1 second. Because if I move my phone, believe it or not, it could disconnect because I'm using like a 3G thingamajig. Oh, but I should actually go back to... Sorry, guys, just 1 second. Excuse me. Technical difficulties streaming from Lebanon, folks. Okay, this is what happens when you stream in the Middle East. What? I'm not from... YouTube's being annoying. Oh, that's the problem. Okay. Which account? I know. I see what's happening. I see what's happening. Okay. Back to my channel now. Go to manage videos. Board. Live. Go back to the live stream. And we're good to go. There we go. We're back, folks. We're back. My live stream. There we go. Beautiful. So, Kelly Morales sends $2. Tried a Lebanese called Almaza. 'Twas good. Ooh, he tried a Lebanese beer. Kelly Morales. Hey, well, Almaza is our most popular beer. It's the highest selling beer in Lebanon. It is exported to like many countries. So if you go to a lot of like Middle Eastern shops, Middle Eastern style bakeries, they serve Almaza. It's a pretty good beer. I worked at a Lebanese restaurant in Northern Virginia called Almaza. It was run by the chef Eli Frale. Chef Eli Frale. He was a Lebanese chef. He used to always talk to me about his security clearance. Like, I used to have a security clearance, and I used to cook for like George Bush and Bill Clinton. I mean, they're fucking assholes, but like, hey, he used to cook for the president. He also used to cook for Tiger Woods. So he had a little Lebanese restaurant in the heart of Northern Virginia. I was a waiter there for like a year. Enjoy that Almaz. It's pretty good beer. Pretty good beer. We have some other, we have like Beirut beer. We have a Colonel beer, I think, as well. CH sends a $5 and says, Bernie Sanders, why fear American politicians at your age? Just call it as it is and leave the world with better grace. Because I actually don't know if he probably does like Israel. You know what I mean? He's an old Jewish man. He probably has some family in Israel. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? So back to this. So Hasan explicitly says Hila Klein is a valid military target, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the wider clip. Let's watch the full clip. Here's the wider clip of Hasan's clip that's going viral. No sane or non-malicious actor could possibly construe this as him blanket calling for violence against Hila Klein. If you propagate that message, you're lying to help the Klein silence criticism. Let us see what this is.
Goes the thinking.
Like any kind of violence that Israeli settlers or the Israeli military experiences in the West Bank is literally legal, okay? It is legal resistance against an occupying military force. I cannot repeat this enough. Just like any kind of violence that the Israeli occupying force experiences in the Gaza Strip is actually, once again, totally legal and totally moral resistance by the Palestinians. Doesn't matter if they're the Al-Aqsa Brigade. Doesn't matter if they're a part of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Doesn't matter if they're DFLP, PFLP, or even former Fatah militants. Okay? It is perfectly legal, perfectly valid, and perfectly moral. Okay?
Look, I mean, he's right. He's right. You have the right to defend your land. Your God-given right to defend your land against an invading force. So it doesn't matter who you are. If someone is trying to invade your land, you have the right to defend your borders, your land, your country. What you've inherited from your ancestors.
100%. This is not like this is not a gray area. This is black and white. Okay? It doesn't get more black and white than this. Israel's in the wrong. Israel is actually engaging in an apartheid, which is a crime in and of itself. Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza and an apartheid in the West Bank. 2 crimes in and of itself. And every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in these raids. The violence that the Palestinians engage in an act of resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's just the truth. Straight up. It doesn't matter that they look to be in garb that makes you think that they're in the right. Okay?
Okay. Lost power, folks. Again, streaming from Lebanon, folks. Middle East. Yeehaw. How we do it here. You guys can still hear me, though. So, look. Clearly, Hasan is talking about the past. He's saying that, like, if you were currently being raided by someone, including your favorite podcaster's wife, you would technically, theoretically have the right to defend yourself by, using force or using violence or shooting them, basically. Shooting them. So with that said, is he wrong there? No. Palestinians have every single right to defend themselves against a violent invading force, whether they're Israeli settlers, whether it's the IDF, etc. The problem is, you know how Ethan Klein is going to interpret that. You know what I mean? And look, I'm going to be fair to give not Ethan any credit, but I understand where he's coming from. The fact that Hasan brought up his wife in the sense of like using it as an example of someone who could have been killed or like who you would have the right to kill theoretically. I understand why Ethan is reacting to that. This is probably the title of their episode right now. Like, you know what I mean? Let's check actually. Isn't H3 going live right now? Let's see. So like you are kind of bringing up Hila at that point is a choice. It is definitely a deliberate choice. He could have used any example he wanted, but he went for Hila. Is he saying that Hila should be killed? No, not at all. He's not calling for violence against ex-IDF members that are now just a part of society and like are walking around. That's not what he's saying at all. He's saying that at the time when Hila was performing that raid, if she had gotten hurt by a Palestinian who was a victim of that raid, then that would have been fair game. Now, was that the greatest example to use, given his beef with Ethan, given how Ethan is going to react and all of that? Look, probably not. If I don't like, I get why Ethan would get upset. Also, you know what I mean? Actually, no. Look, to give Ethan, to not Ethan, but like he said, iDubbbz is a stinky, lazy loser. He has no friends. That's the title. Oh, actually, no. Oh, so he made a separate video. So these are the VODs that he's talking about. Ooh, we're going to watch that shit. He says Hasan calls Hila a valid military target. So that's what Ethan was talking about. He said he was going to do some videos as a separate VODs because people are shitting on his podcast. They think it's like too dramatic and shit. So we're going to watch that in a second. Okay. All right. That makes it easier to watch and react to. Okay. Let's continue. So we don't need that anymore. Oh, sorry. Was someone being annoying here? Esben M had a message deleted. Esben, are you being annoying in here? What's happening? Ooh, Nola Magnolia, who's been a member for 6 months, says Hasan said the exact thing before and more than once. It's so contrived to make a hoopla about it now. It is. I understand why someone would be like, hey, I mean, you brought up my wife, essentially, while talking about people having the right to be killed. I would just understand why Ethan is going to make content about it now for like, he's going to milk the shit out of this. Noxolato says, can't stand Yeet and the fact that he is a big stalker. I fucking hate that account. And I fucking hate the emoji that he chose. The laughing emoji is my least favorite emoji. Dan Ahmad sends $2, says, Anthony, when you were in VA, did you visit Staunton? No, I don't think so. I just spent like most time in Northern Virginia, McLean, and I also went to Los Angeles for a few days to visit the Arabs. All right, let's go back to this, and then we're going to watch the Ethan video, folks, about it, of course. I mean, look, when you watch the wider clip, I get what Hasan is saying. In no way is Hasan calling for violence against Hila. And if whoever construes it, if Ethan is out there, like, Hasan is out there putting my wife in danger by saying that she's a valid military target. She was a valid military target when she was in the military, performing illegal acts of terrorism and terrorizing people and raiding their homes in the middle of the night in Ramallah. So, you know. And yeah, look, Billy Beazelbub makes a good point. Don't do military things if you're going to whine about people objecting to those things. Grow up. Exactly. I mean, also, look, she has to. The problem is, folks, again, Ethan, the problem with Ethan is that he's married to an IDF soldier. As much as, and Ethan, to give him credit, in the past has said that, like, yo, Israeli settlers are valid military targets. He'll say that, but he won't say that IDF are valid military targets sometimes because his wife is an IDF soldier. But he's also said that the IDF are terrorists. Go fucking figure. So if the IDF are terrorists, why is he shocked when someone says that you can use deadly force against the IDF if they're invading your land? You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't be shocked, but he's fucking stuck, okay? He wants to be on the right side, but he can't because his wife is an IDF soldier. And she hasn't reckoned with her past. If Hila apologizes for her past, I think it starts with Hila, to be honest with you. If Hila wakes up one morning and goes like, hey, Ethan, hello. I just woke up this morning and I feel like maybe I should apologize for the things I did. I feel like I'm not proud of my time in the IDF, and I raided all these homes and I scared all these children, and my brother flew the jets and she killed people. Like, maybe I should apologize. And like, maybe she shouldn't if she did apologize. Like, if Hila got on TV or got on the podcast, like countless other IDF soldiers have gone on to the media and been like, you know what, we fucking did some horrible shit. And I'm trying to reckon with my past, and I have fucking nightmares about that stuff. And looking at those fucking scared Palestinians traumatizes me to this day. And I think that what we're doing in Gaza is horrible. What we're doing in the West Bank is fucking horrible. And I wish I could take back what I did, but I was young. I was impressionable. I bought into the propaganda. I was propagandized since birth to see these people as my enemy. If Hila were to fucking say that, that gives Ethan the open door to be like, there you fucking go, bro. He's just going to back his wife. As long as Hila is a staunch Zionist and is still there defending the IDF and denying that the IDF, like in the past when someone had said, like, the IDF burns people on the daily. Ethan was like, yeah, I know they do. And Hila was like, I deny that. They do not burn people on the daily. It starts with Hila. Ethan Klein is handcuffed by Hila, bro. If Hila wakes up one morning, he's like, Zionism is bad. The IDF is bad. What I did was bad. Ethan's going to be like, all right. And he's going to fucking just back her up. I really think that's like the biggest thing that's kind of happening, man. And like, he fucking said that she's a terrorist, but now like he's fucking confused. He's fucking confused and he's stuck. He's trying to be a leftist. He's trying to be a good person. He's trying to be pro-Palestine while still trying to defend Israel. It's never going to work. The circle will never close. He's at odds with himself. I want to be a good person. I support gay people. I support gay rights. I also, like, I don't want to see Palestinians get killed, but I kind of like Israel, and I kind of, Hamas do build bases under hospitals, and, the Nakba, the Arabs did try to invade Israel before the Nakba. It's like, what the fuck, bro? It starts and ends with Hila, bro. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. Yeet says Hasan denies his charged Hila rhetoric, throws shots at Asmongold. So let's watch this.
That's crazy. It is what it is, I guess. The resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay.
Tiago Menezes says, stop giving them passes, please. Ethan made Hila a valid target when he called her. Look, I'm not giving them passes. I'm understanding why Ethan would get upset when someone is on the internet being like, hey, his wife is a valid military target. She's his wife at the end of the day. He agrees. He said she's a terrorist, but he's not going to be like, yeah, you're right, actually. Like, what can he say? I'm not defending him. I'm just kind of just commenting on the whole situation. The whole thing's a clusterfuck. But yeah, fuck Ethan, bro. What do you guys think the show is? But I mean, yeah, bro. What Hasan said is 100% right. Yo, fuck Israel. Guys, they bombed my country. Israel bombs me on the daily. They bomb my country. I got no love for the IDF or the Israelis or nobody.
That's crazy. It is what it is, I guess. The resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. Okay? It's just the truth. And
no, it's not. If somebody attacks Hila Klein, they're gonna go to jail.
Yeah, no shit, you fucking...
Yeah, you see fucking idiots that interpret it as like, yeah, go do violence against Hila Klein. Motherfucker, he's talking about when she was doing the fucking raid. If she's raiding your home and someone came up behind her and like did something in self-defense, you know what I mean? It's an illegal occupying force. Again, it's a valid example for Hasan to use, but you just know the reaction, what the reaction is going to be. That's all I'm saying. And we're going to enjoy that reaction by watching Ethan lose his shit.
Moron. I'm talking about in her participation in an illegal raid in the West Bank.
And Tiago, I do not disagree. He says he is at odds, but that's his own problem to figure. Exactly. And we've been enjoying his crash out has been the result of him trying to like make sense of his Zionism and trying to be like, but I'm not a bad guy. And he just failing to, you know what I mean? And that's what we've been watching. Essentially him trying to fit a circle in a square peg.
Oh, God. No, it's not. Yeah, of course if someone were to attack Hila Klein right now, of course they should go to jail. What kind of fucking idiocy is this? Oh, my God.
Why is he telling people this? Oh. Why would he be set? What is wrong with you? Do you think he'll get banned for this? At this point, I don't.
Banned? Bro, everyone just wants to get him fucking banned, bro. Like, that's everyone's fucking goal.
Don't think so. I think that Twitch just doesn't care. I do. I think that Twitch they're so ideologically captured by...
Yeah, Twitch is so woke. That's why they fucking never ban your bitch ass, dude. I don't know if they're actually intentionally obtuse or they're this stupid.
I think Asmongold is a successful streamer because like he's like a disgusting, shitty fucking person, and he gives like all the disgusting, shitty people that watch him like hope. Like, you know what? I don't have to take care of myself. I don't have to take care of the way I look. I don't have to have good takes. I don't have to be smart. I don't have to be clean. I don't have to know how to like speak to other people. I don't have to be not a racist. And I can look, Asmongold's just like me. So like, what the fuck, bro? It's like the lowest fucking standard of shit to watch, man. The fuck is this, bro? Disgusting. Disgusting. Anyways, that's Asmongold's take. Nicholas de Oreo, actually, weirdly enough, Nicholas Eat de Oreo was kind of like defending Hasan, but then he had like a cringe tweet. He says, I think the clip is reckless, but it's also out of context. Nicholas de Oreo, by the way, who hosts a segment called Ultimate Rape Review. So we're no defense of Nicholas de Oreo. I'm just shocked of this take. He says he's making a point about valid military targets of IDF soldiers actively occupying the West Bank. He is invoking Hila Klein in past tense to reference the ride-along, but Palestinians or supporters attacking her in California would not be an act of resistance. It would be offense. And he's correcting Tectone. He says, I think Hasan is pretty careless here, but if your takeaway is that Hasan supports vigilante justice or Palestinians harming Hila Klein in California in current day, that's clearly not the point he was intending to make. Holy shit. Holy shit. Like, what the fuck? Nicholas Eat the Oreo kind of has a reasonable take. Sorry, guys. Then he says, all the more reason to clip him in context and not overly embellish clips that can be defeated by quickly scrolling back. Bad empanada existing is a good enough argument. But then has a pretty fucking cringe tweet. He says support for Hila Klein is pivotal right now, which goes against everything he just said. Like if he actually thought that like what Hasan said wasn't actually calling for violence, that means there's no. Why does Hila need support? Supporting Hila, like support for Hila Klein is pivotal right now. That means that there's like active death threats against her right now. People are like out to kill her. And if you don't support her online, that means you support what Hasan said, which is that she deserves to be harmed. But you just said that that's not what Hasan said. So how could you correctly point out what Hasan said as being like, yo, he's making a point about the past. Maybe it's a bit of a careless example to give right now, given the beef with Ethan and like tensions being high and like how some people might interpret that. I think he's right. But then being like support for Hila Klein right now is pivotal. But if you're supporting Hila right now, that means you're saying that what Hasan said was out of pocket, which is not. So that was a bit cringe and ass-licky, but we know Nicholas Eat the Oreo is an Hila stand. She was in their live chat a few months ago, and she like gave him a $20 super chat talking shit about iDubbbz and Anissa. We remember that, don't we, folks? Yeah, this is such an ass-licking tweet. And then Hasan kind of clarifies what he said. When anyone joins an occupying force and participates in a raid in illegally occupied territory, like the West Bank, the occupied people have a legal right to defend themselves through armed struggle. This right doesn't extend outside of combat. People framing this negatively should take it up with the United Nations. And look, again, he's right, folks. The United Nations just said it. If an Israeli soldier were to step into my home right now, to raid my home, I have the right to grab my baseball bat, to grab some kind of weapon, and smack him in the head, folks. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter who it is. Including your favorite podcaster's wife. If she were in my home right now to raid my house. But she's not. She's living safely in California with her family. You know what I mean? Leave them alone. That is not what Hasan was saying. That is not, Hasan wasn't saying to go bother them. He was saying just leave them the fuck alone. But actively, right now, if right now, someone's coming to harm you, then you have the right to defend yourself and your land. Okay? That's what we're talking about. We got North Star Radio in the chat. It says, I'm an hour behind, but thanks for talking about Hasan. A majority of his audience is disappointed, and that says a lot. We can drop Hasan because he has authority, but we need to apply pressure. Exactly. And again, North Star, I don't think anyone here says that we need to drop Hasan. When fair criticism is warranted, we should give it to him, but he's done so much good for the platform, and he's inspired a lot of us to start making content and like try to be more vocal about some issues in the world that we want to be vocal about. And I've learned a lot by watching Hasan. So, Comrade Casey, W's in the chat for Comrade Casey, folks. We love Comrade Casey. And then Hasan, okay, so we got some Instagram stories. That's right. That's right. Let's look at the Instagram stories before getting into Ethan's video. Got a whole bunch of Instagram stories, folks. So Hila, look, these are going to be out of order, maybe. Okay, so here, whatever. We'll figure it out. Together, folks, we'll figure it out together. So Hila Klein says, just another Sunday. So we got Hutch says, Hasan calls Hila a valid military target. It's just another Sunday for me. And then she shares this. She says, Hasan Piker, who was exposed by my husband to be a disgusting crip, has retaliated by calling for violence against me. Again, she says she's calling for violence against me now, completely misinterpreting it. He's saying that when you were a raider of Ramallah, violence against you would have been warranted. Think back and you'll notice a trend. When he wants to get it eaten, he attacks me. This is just another glimpse into the psyche of a man that does not see women as his equal. He uses women to whatever ends he needs. But be it revenge, sexual gratification, or to massage his ego by exposing their nude bodies without their consent to his boys. What? What are we talking about now? We're running with that now? That's the new line of attack? He shares nudes with his boys. So, okay. Then Tom Ward, folks, Tom Ward shared this. Tom Ward, the most boring man in the world, that I've had enough with Hasan and his fucking goon squad. No matter where you stand on Israel-Palestine, how could you target someone like Hila Klein? She's generous, kind, caring, and an amazing wife, mother, and boss. I'm sure the family she was raiding in Ramallah had those exact same thoughts. Tom Ward. I'm sure they're like, what a nice, caring, and amazing wife. As she's like kicking them. Hey, do you have weapons in this house? Where are the weapons? Show me. What's in this closet? What's in this toy basket over there? Hey, little boy, show me what's in the toys. Show me the toys, little boy. Madam. Like, what? I'm sure they're like, what? She's so kind and gentle. Don't hit me back there. Please don't. She's smacking him. Well, show me. Give me the toys. Is that the tabbouleh you're making? Give us the food. Hey, everybody. They make dinner for us. Let's eat the dinner. It's hot. It's still, look, there's some lentil soup. It's still on the fire. Let's eat it. You shut the fuck up. You stay down, little boy. And you, woman, you dirty Muslim woman, you shut up now. Okay, everyone, let's eat the lentil soup. This is such a fun adventure that I volunteered. I volunteered to go on this Ramallah raid. I'm supposed to be a secretary. But I wanted to come here to eat your muhallabiyah and terrorize the shit out of you. So, anyways. Holy shit, folks. Sal Saud just gifted 50 Do Not Worry memberships. Holy shit, folks. 50 W's in the chat for Sal, folks. W's in the chat right now for Sal. Oh my god, you just gifted 50 DNW memberships. It's a party in here now, folks. Hila Klein is in the house. We're gonna party. Hell yeah. Raider of Ramallah, folks. Shut up, little boy. Now you show me your toys. I will slap your mother. I am the Raider of fucking Ramallah. Anyways, folks. Those are either Sal. Oh my god. Sal, Saud. If the last name is Saud, let me know if I said it wrong. If it's Sal Saud. Yatik Fafi if it's Saud. We love you so much. W's in the chat, folks. Just fucking members for the next month, folks. Everybody's a member. Let's fucking go, baby. More stories then. Okay, so Ethan. Okay, this is funny. Ethan shares this, but like he's like self-reporting. Sneeko says PewDiePie ripped a hard R, then escaped this gay world. What this fucking Sneeko, bro? Then escaped this gay world to start a family. A decade later, all of his peers stare soullessly into the camera to make AdSense from Drama Slop to fund their Ozempic addiction and legal battles with former friends. Shout out to PewDiePie. I love that Ethan read that and read the part that says they soullessly stare into the camera to make AdSense from Drama Slop to fund their Ozempic addiction and legal battles with former friends. And he's like, yep. He's talking about me. Sneeko right now is talking about me. Because I soullessly stare into a camera to make AdSense from Drama Slop to fund my Ozempic addiction and legal battles with my former friends. Like, how fucking sad is it that he saw that tweet and he instantly knew that Sneeko's talking about him. And he's like, Sneeko is mad because I have a wife and kids and all he got was another fella's hairy balls dragged across his face. By the way, double fuck Sneeko. Ain't nobody here defending Sneeko. But like for Ethan to see that and be like, oh, he's talking about me. That's fucking hilarious. Like that's such a self-report. Then he shares this. Hasan Piker might be cooked. Okay, then he's got this whole thing with Matt Lech, which we'll get later. So then he says, girl boss. Okay, so then Hasan says it's girl boss. He says, girl boss, genocide defense. I'm sorry, what? Is it possible to respond without evoking her gender? Ironically, Hasan exhibits his chauvinism while trying to deny it. Okay, so this is Hasan talking about Hila's girl boss tweet.
To be discussing creepers retaliated by calling for violence against me. Think back and you'll notice a trend. When he wants to get at Ethan, he attacks me. This is just another glimpse into the psyche of a man who does not see women as equal. Okay, dude. This is literally girl bossing genocide defense.
What else we got? Ooh, Kevin Sorbo. And if you guys are wondering what was Hila Klein's job in the military, this is Gato Fumador, friend of the show. I do follow them. I didn't screenshot this, folks. We follow each other, by the way. Hila Klein served as the aide de camp to the commander of the IDF brigade, specifically tasked with conducting security operations, night raids, in and around the city of Ramallah. She planned and participated in the illegal forced disappearances of people from their homes. So whenever someone tells you, I was just a secretary, don't you listen to that shit, folks. Don't you listen to that. Now, okay, the part that I didn't know existed, Ethan Klein's response. Should we watch? Actually, let's see. Overzealot, also friend of the show, Overzealots, Isaac, says the people of the occupied West Bank have the right to defend themselves from the raider of Ramallah and her bloodthirsty entourage. Again, based take by Overzealots. Friend of the show. We got, again, I'm so proud of the friends that this show has, folks. Overzealots, Chris Kunzler, Comrade Casey, Uninformed Leftist, Bat Hasbara, Sean the Black, iDubbbz. The list goes on and on, folks. The list goes on and on. Okay. Enough of this. What does Ethan have to say about it?
Sunday afternoon, I'm relaxing with my family, and I get a text from a friend with a link to...
Hard to imagine Ethan Klein relaxing with his family or like staring at his phone, screenshotting shit, posting Instagram stories. I think that's what relaxing with his family means for Ethan.
To a video in it, and it's a video of my good...
Hell yeah, North Star Radio says dream blunt rotation. A man can dream. A man can dream that we can all be sitting in a room together one day, passing that thing around to what more than a dream. Left many normal comments. Hope you saw them. Also left art for super chat banner in Discord. Also last one. Yes, last one. Madness no more. I look. I'm not gonna lie. I've not had a chance to look at a lot of your comments right now, but I will. Let me scroll up a little bit. Madness. Because we got 50 gifted super chats, so that has dominated the timeline, my guy. But Madness, I cannot tell you how much we love you, man, and your generosity. I mean, bro, I'm gonna end up going to San Francisco to that Pokemon convention because of you, and you're not gonna go. So that's not fair. But I shall catch up with your comments, my guy. Don't send any more super chats. This is I'm gonna block you. So.
Old friend Hasan Piker.
Block you as in like just to stop sending super chats. We love you. We'll never block you, Madness Arcade.
Claiming that my wife Hila would be a valid military target. Let's take a look.
DFLP, PFLP, or even former Fatah militants. Okay? It is perfectly legal, perfectly valid, and perfectly moral. Okay? 100%. This is not like this is not a gray area. This is black and white. Okay, it doesn't get more black and white than this. Israel is in the wrong. Israel is actually engaging in an apartheid, which is a crime in and of itself. Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza and an apartheid in the West Bank. 2 crimes in and of itself. And every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also...
By the way, there have been multiple full clips with the full context posted. He's watching the one that Yeet/awkward 2000 shared on Twitter. He's sharing the one that's been fucking edited to bits and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Out of context.
The Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in these raids. Doesn't matter if they're...
So Hasan has been trying to claim that he meant only people during the raid would be legit to exact.
Nogzalotto sends $2 and says even Adam McIntyre mocks her secretary role. You look, we're still getting. You see the animations for all the gifted memberships that Sal did. They're still raking in
violence on it. But even if it's true that that's what he meant, why is he making it sound like she escaped justice? Wouldn't that justify a form of justice catching up to her? Right? It's something she has coming, right? Why is he making it sound like she escaped justice? Wouldn't that justify a form of justice catching?
No, that's not what he's saying, bro. He's reading so much into it. But look, that's what I kind of mean when using Hila as an example is kind of careless, because you know that's where Ethan is going to take it. You know that's where Ethan is going to take it, and he's going to run with this now. Like Hasan is trying to get my wife killed, bro. Like, you know that's where he's going to fucking take this thing.
Up to her, right? It's something she has coming, right? Why even include a specific person who hasn't served in the military in 20 years? Why does he mix up past and present tense while he's discussing this? You know, is this a responsible use of his words and his platform? Don't you think that even if what you're saying is true and you meant only people on that raid would deserve violence, that invoking a specific person is really appropriate and true? And doesn't that have the risk for provoking the craziest people in your audience to think that maybe it would be a good idea to
look, I'm gonna try to be, you know, this podcast, you know, we're the anti-H3 podcast at this point. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna give Ethan a little bit of grace here. Him saying that like this is gonna drive Hasan's crazy fans to go kill Hila, I think is crazy. And like that's the part where he's putting words into Hasan's mouth and he's attributing actions to Hasan that you know have nothing to do with Hasan. But I think that him being upset that like Hasan specifically used his wife as an example, I get why he's upset. And I get that why maybe Hasan doesn't need to specify. It's enough to say anyone who's you can even say someone who raided a home. Specifying Hila, I get why Ethan is going to want to defend his wife at the end of the day. Even though his wife is an IDF terrorist, and the devil's going to defend his wife. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's going to defend her. So I'm not saying that Ethan is right to do that, but he's gonna have to speak up. And I might not have used a specific example in that case. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep it real with you guys. You know what I mean? I know what you guys want. I know what you guys want to hear. You know what I mean? But
kill my wife, right? Like, what are we talking about, dude? And also, Hila was a secretary, okay? Him and all of his friends here, they're trying to invoke the image that Hila was somehow some commando that was constantly going into raids and kidnapping people in their sleep. She was not in a combat role. She was a secretary. She never fired a bullet outside of basic training, okay? And Hila is what these people always dream about. She's an Israeli Jew that left Israel. She's an American citizen of 15 years now, a mother of 3. This is.
Yeah, but she doesn't. What people want is to act someone that leaves the IDF and goes like, yeah, what I did was fucked. What I did was wrong. What the IDF is doing today is wrong. She doesn't say any of that shit, bro. She's proud of her service in the IDF. She's proud of her time in the IDF.
The idea of the perfect Israeli, one that leaves.
And she volunteered. Like, she didn't even have to raid. Like, she wanted to go. Now, again, if she were to come out and say, look, I was young and fucking dumb and I was completely propagandized. Like, I thought I was actually raiding a fucking terrorist home, bro. I was that fucking deep into the propaganda. Kind of like Cenk Uygur. Cenk, we have a lot of problems with Cenk, and we criticize TYT and Cenk and Anna all the time. But Cenk is on camera being like, you know what? I bought into the Turkish propaganda of the Armenian genocide. I bought into the fact that there was no Armenian genocide. I bought into the propaganda, and I was wrong, and I was stupid. If Hila were to say something like that, bro, do you know how far that would go for ex-fans that are so disappointed in them? That would go very fucking far.
Despite all that, Hasan is suggesting that it would be a moral victory for someone to murder her. This is actually the 4th or 5th time someone has directly called for violence against me or Hila on Twitch since October 7th.
It's not, you see, that's the danger of Hasan being careless using that example, because this is going to be used as he called for violence against Hila. We know what Hasan meant. We know that Hasan is right about what he's saying. We know that Ethan himself has called the IDF, that it's fair to describe the IDF as terrorists. But we also know that he's going to do that now. And that's going to be the message for the next fucking month. Hasan is threatening to get my wife killed.
And so far, none of these people have been punished for making these threats. And I don't expect Hasan to meet any repercussions for this either.
But he shouldn't meet any repercussions because he didn't do anything, bro. He just used Hila as an example. Was it a little bit careless? I would say yes, personally. I would personally say yes. Careless as in just he knows the attention it's going to fucking draw. And it's going to give people ammo that they didn't need to have. People that are more than happy to interpret things in bad faith, to misconstrue things for content. And Ethan is a content goblin. He just wants to make content. He doesn't actually care for the well-being of his wife. This is a video that he can make now. This is a VOD that he can post. And they're probably going to react to it on the H3 podcast and clip this and all that bullshit.
Right? And Hasan himself has a troubling history of calling for political violence. Here is the infamous tweet he made to Tom Cotton, a sitting congressperson. And no matter what you think about...
Okay, so another point, though. When Ethan calls Hasan a terrorist over and over again, or a terrorist sympathizer, is that not potentially radicalizing some of Ethan's most radicalized audience members to go do some violence against Hasan? It was one of Ethan's audience members that actually walked up to Dan Clancy, Twitch's CEO, in like person and was like, hey, when like was swimming. What do you think like about what you're saying to Ethan Klein? Like that was an example of them going in the real world and like pestering someone in the real world. And to be fair, it happened to Ethan as well with the fucking dating and money guy. Like, hey, don't you support the IDF? Aren't you like a piece of shit or whatever? No one should interfere with people, but Ethan constantly labeling Hasan as a terrorist and terrorist sympathizer. What if someone walks up to Hasan and fucking shoots him and goes like, yeah, well, you support terrorism, so I'm righteous in what I'm doing. You're also, Ethan is also causing a lot of that violence. So.
Tom Cotton. What Hasan tweeted is fucking mad. This is the gun that a vigilante used to assassinate Shinzo Abe, former Prime Minister of Japan. This is the schematics, the exact gun he used to assassinate this guy. So, I mean, he is directly suggesting that somebody make this gun and start killing people.
Ethan always says Hasan is a terrorist. Exactly.
Politicians. There's no other way to interpret this. But nothing seemed to really happen from that. This is his most recent one where he's saying someone should kill Rick Scott.
There's about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid, just in fraud alone. No.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, you wouldn't make him a prominent part of the Republican Party.
Again, that's not what he was saying. He was saying like if your goal was X, then someone would have thought to do that. He wasn't telling people go out and kill Rick Scott to get healthcare or whatever, bro.
There's about 50.
So this is once again Hasan referring to a sitting congressperson looking straight into the camera and saying, "Kill Rick Scott."
Guys, I gotta go get a snack. I'm hungry. Here's some maki cam for a second. Just some insight into tonight's snack of choice, folks. I'm having a a Meiji product. This is the chocolate flavored Yan. I will not have any arguments. This is the best Yan flavor out there. Don't even talk shit to me. Is this Japanese or Chinese? I get confused. But this is delicious right now, folks. I need me something in my tummy. Delicioso. Madness Arcade. I don't believe you. He says, Matt, last one for real this time. Zionists are literally the real life Mr. Crocker. Lamau. Actually, pretty good description of that. Madness, this is the last one, man. Guys, W's in the chat for Madness Arcade. Please W's in the chat for Madness Arcade. He's been such a fucking... He's always so generous and always so kind and stuff. So let's show him some love in the chat. Single-handedly paying the crew this month. Madness, we appreciate you, my man. So yeah, excuse me while I munch on this. And yeah.
Of course, he'll explain it as Rick Scott committed some Medicare fraud and yada, yada, yada. But again, he has a massive platform and a responsibility to choose his words carefully. He can't be doing this and then also claim that he's against political violence. It's just not what he's exhibiting. And once again,
Tommy Space Invader says, those are my childhood snacks. I didn't know they had those in Lebanon. Yo, Lebanon, we love Yan and we love Hello Panda, bro. Those little biscuits filled with chocolate cream. Oh, Hello Panda, we love that shit.
Again, there was a recent platform and a responsibility to choose his words carefully. He can't be doing this and then also claim that he's against political violence. It's just not what he's exhibiting. And once again, there was a recent example of him sitting next to the great Taylor Lorenz, laughing about how an official was forced to resign after receiving death threats. He's applauding it. Go ahead.
874 Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office, and he's resigning. Like he's literally, this is his last term. So I think that people are a lot more radical now.
Threats.
This is an unprecedented time to really get others.
He's just saying that people were threatening the guy. He's not telling people to fucking threaten to kill politicians and shit, man. Like Ethan, come on, man. There are fair criticisms you can make of Hasan. You don't need to like reach in the fucking gutter, you know what I mean, and make shit up. You don't need to.
On board to explain to them that it's not your neighbors. It's not like a Guatemalan migrant that is responsible for all the shit that you're going through on a daily basis. Not a trans person. I think this is a unique opportunity to get even Devers and Barbas on board with that, like white Wymons. And you actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, you know, someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean. That which is, I think that shows that there's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped potential, untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter of fact. And it's a great opportunity for organizing, I think, in these unprecedentedly horrible times.
So when he says someone has to do it, he's referring, of course, to the act of assassinating the president. Now, I hate Trump as much as any other lib.
Oh, no. Dumbass, man. Someone has to, like, lead a revolution. Someone has to have the balls to act outside of, like, the accepted parameters. Don't just jump to murder. They just want to murder. No, but sometimes you have to escalate. Escalation doesn't necessarily fucking mean killing the fucking president, bro. Whatever bullshit you're picturing in your mind, or going after Hila. Okay? But sometimes just protesting peacefully in the streets only does so much. Okay? Revolution does get a little bit dirty sometimes. It gets a little bit messy. Okay, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few fucking eggs.
But I do not want anybody to kill the...
Yeah, exactly. No gelato. Coming from the guy who said that Ben Shapiro needed to get killed. So, or gassed.
president. I don't think that would help. I think that would probably not help. But that's the point. That's what Hasan, he doesn't want it to help. He wants to collapse society, frankly, so he can, you know, usher in this revolutionary period. Do you guys know what stochastic terrorism is? You hear this term thrown around a lot, but let me define it for you. Stochastic terrorism refers to the public use of inciting rhetoric, often vague or coded, by an influential figure to provoke violence from a predisposed individual or group, with the perpetrator able to plausibly deny responsibility for the resulting violence. It is a form of political violence where the instigator's actions are not a direct call to violence, but rather a calculated use of language that is statistically likely to incite violence in a suspected individual.
But the majority of Hasan fans, bro, are like fucking chill-ass people. You know what I mean? Like young Gen Z people who don't fucking own weapons, who do not believe in violence, who have never harmed anyone in their life. If anything, they were victims of like violence and bullying themselves. They're very empathetic people on the left, people who support Palestinians and what's happening right now, tend to be a bit more empathetic than people who support Zionism and Israel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the last person, like, I can imagine an H3 fan who's also a Sam Hyde fan, who's also a Nick DeOrio fan, who's also a Quartering fan, who's also like a fan of all, who's a Willie Mack fan. I imagine those people going out and committing fucking violence against someone. I can't imagine a Hasan fan, fucking leftist, going out and hurting anyone, bro.
This is, when I read this, it kind of blew my mind, because this describes to a exact T the kind of language, the pattern of language we're seeing Hasan deploying. This is it, you know? In his own words, by the way, and very ironically, Hasan said this to me when I was on his podcast.
I think he is a narcissist. I mean, when you watch that video, the narcissism rage at CoffeeZilla was insane, because his video was just...
I mean, it's posturing, man. If you're going to court...
No, he was so wrong about everything.
Yeah, but listen, if we've learned anything about the court of public opinion, it is deny, deny, deny. If you let on any kind of, you know, I should apologize for this, then the mob, then the horde has something to latch their teeth into. If you go with the Donald Trump school of medicine, no, you're simply wrong. What do you think you see in court? People go, oh, there might be something to that.
Yeah, you deny, you deflect, and then you counterattack the person who like launched this investigation on you.
Drag the Ripper says Ethan's crew's so bored. I don't even I think the crew, yeah, they're just sitting in the background. I don't even think they're going to participate in these war zone VODs anymore. They're just gonna fucking sit there like, Ethan, you want to make these fucking videos? Go ahead. We're just gonna sit there quietly, film you, give you the production assistance, which is still aiding and abetting at some, you know, Ethan's propaganda and Ethan's misinformation and all of that. The crew, you're not absolved of this. If you choose not to be on camera, you're still a part of this whole fucking operation. Don't you forget, we ain't forgotten.
And you try to claim that like there's a hidden bias.
And yes, we miss fat Ethan, Drag the Ripper.
There. And most lizard brain dipshits who like love you unconditionally will go, oh, finally I have an out to defend this person, right?
Now, even when he told me that, I was thinking in my head, like, you've thought a lot about this. I haven't thought about it that deep. And if you go back, though, every time Hasan...
Yeah, we know you don't think things through a lot, Ethan. We know a lot of the topics you're talking about now, you've thought about for the first time maybe last week.
is accused of something, this is exactly what he does. This is his playbook. Never apologize. Always double down. Always accuse your accusers of being hallucinating, crazy, etc. This is exactly his playbook. Since Hasan and many of his friends have employed this violent rhetoric against me and my family, me and Hila rarely leave our houses or make
Violent rhetoric against me and my family. Violent rhetoric. Oh, they don't leave the house anymore. What? Jesus, what, man?
Have employed this violent rhetoric against me and my family. Me and Hila rarely leave our houses or make public appearances because of the constant and overwhelming sense of danger. The last 2 years, we've spent more time inside than ever before. And we've stopped doing our biannual live shows, right, for over a year because of the fear of violence being enacted not just on us, but on our fans and our crew.
Bro, come on. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's fine. What am I going to say? If you're not doing the live shows because you're afraid of violence, I think they're just afraid of someone buying a ticket and like calling them out or like heckling them during the show. No one's going to commit violence against the H3 crew. Plus, Ethan is notorious for never leaving his house anyways. If you've ever watched the H3 show like I used to in the past, Ethan repeatedly talks about never wanting to leave the house. You have to drag him out of the house, whether it's to celebrate a coworker's birthday party, family members, nothing. He does not want to leave the house. And now they have like 3 kids. Of course he's not going to leave the house. But now he wants to blame it on Hasan. Oh, I don't leave the house because of Hasan. Bro, you never fucking leave the house. You never leave the house. And any person that consumed H3 content before knows that.
This, by the way, is resulting in the crew directly losing money as these live shows, we would donate the entire box office to the crew. And we did this twice a year. It was a significant source of revenue.
So now Hasan is taking money from the crew, folks. Hasan is taking money away from the crew because they can't do the live shows, because Hasan is inciting violence against them. Now the crew is missing out on valuable income. Oh, how sad, folks. Let's take a moment of sadness for the crew, folks. Maki, let's mourn the crew's smaller bank accounts. All right, that's enough.
For them, that's now been shut off out of fear. We've been forced to hire a full-time guard at the office because everyone in the office was feeling unsafe. And me and Hila are both waiting for our concealed carry license so that we can finally feel safe in public again, which is not easy to get in California, and it's going to take like over a year probably. And I usually choose not to talk about this stuff because me and Hila are both waiting for our concealed carry license so that we can finally feel safe in public again, which is not easy to get in California.
What? Ethan and Hila are carrying fucking guns with them now? Bro. Someone's gonna get fucking shot, bro. Like a fan is gonna walk up like, Ethan, Hila, hello. Bam, you're just gonna fucking shoot him. Oh my God, I thought you were coming to kill me. What did I do? Ethan, I just shot 2 kids. Oh no, they're brown children. Ethan, what do I do? What?
We've been forced to hire a full-time guard at the office because everyone in the office was feeling unsafe. And me and Hila are both waiting for our concealed carry license so that we can finally feel safe in public again, which is not easy to get in California, and it's gonna take like over a year probably. And I usually choose not to talk about this stuff.
Bro, they're gonna be walking around with fucking guns, trigger ass happy. Hila Klein, ex-IDF soldier. She trained, bro. She ready to use that shit against brown people. Brown women, brown children of California. Avoid Hila Klein at all costs. This is a PSA. Oh no! I'm gonna go to the grocery store and buy some yan treats. Oh, there's a child behind me. I'm gonna kill. Oh shit! I just killed a child. Self-defense. What's that law called? Stand your ground or whatever? Can't you get away with murder in California if you feel threatened or some shit? Or is that just in like Texas? You at the gas station, you know? Maybe a nice Mexican person comes to help her at the gas station. Bam! Oh no, I thought there was a Palestinian supporter coming to hurt me. I thought it was one of Hasan's fans. Ethan, I just killed a 4th person in 2 days. Or this concealed weapon was a bad idea, Ethan. Oh no. What? What are we doing here? We got guns? Nugzulato sends $5. Nugzulato, also, thank you so much for your generosity today. Because every accusation Ethan makes about Hasan is an admission of what Ethan has done before. Also, he got a lot of terminology from Hasan when he debates. Of course, we all learn a little bit from Hasan. What the fuck? Bro, they got weapons? Can you imagine that?
Because the provocateurs who will revel in it, because this is their goal, right? They want me to be afraid. They want me to be in my house. They want me to avoid doing public events. They want me to cower.
Bro, we don't want you to have a gun. I can tell you that much. Nobody wants you to have a gun. You look pretty unstable half the time you're on the internet. Hila's ex-IDF. I can't imagine 2 people who are like less stable than you right now to have guns. You think everyone's out to get you. You think you're a safe person right now to hand a fucking gun to, bro? I'm not even fucking kidding right now, bro. If you're so fucking on edge and you're so fucking paranoid, that's when accidents happen, man. That's when you kill someone by fucking accident, dude. And you don't have guns in the house where there's kids and shit? Listen, man, you do you, okay? You got CPS called on your ass. I'm not gonna even fucking...
So this is very much giving them what they want. However, in this moment, I do feel the entire context of how language like this affects me and my family and my crew and everybody around me. Twitch has served as the most prolific source of leftist radicalization, terrorist propaganda, and anti-West sentiment. They foster, they elevate, they protect the most dangerous and inflammatory voices. And it's obvious to anyone paying attention that Twitch is being run by ideologues that agree with Hasan. And it's obvious to anyone who's paying attention, they use the terms of service as a form of political activism by harshly punishing people that they're opposed to and granting near total impunity to their allies like Hasan.
Bro, again, if Hasan came out on Twitch and said, hey, former IDF soldiers or terrorists are still valid military targets, then you are 100% justified in making the video that you're making. You're 100% justified in thinking that Hasan is out there trying to incite violence against you or your wife. But that is not what Hasan said. But I will say that Hasan using Hila as an example was kind of careless because, of course, that is how Ethan is going to interpret that. And now, yalla, the barrage of Hasan wants my wife dead content for the next month. Can I get some ad revenue on that? Ethan thinks. And Ethan will do it. So,
the CEO has even stated on record that Hasan is his favorite streamer. In the past, there's been a coordinated pressure campaign against Twitch advertisers with some success, but the entire Twitch executive team remains protected despite the head of inclusive marketing. The head of inclusive marketing once tweeting out, what is the difference between a Boy Scout and a Jewish kid? And I'll give you a hint as to the answer. It's only one returns from camp. What's the difference between a Boy Scout and a Jewish kid? Only one returns from camp. The head of inclusive marketing at Twitch. Now, this...
I mean, that is an unacceptable joke for someone to make. Whoever they are, whether they're the head, and specifically the head of diversity or diverse content at Twitch or whatever, like that's a fucked up joke, bro.
Person, as far as I'm aware, has faced 0 administrative correction and continues to this day to hold her position as head of inclusive marketing at Twitch. The irony is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Now, while some sponsors...
Yeah, and that's dumb of Twitch to, like, not act upon that. Like, that's such a red flag. That's such a fucking red flag, bro. Like, that's so fucking bad. Even if you don't want to fire her, like, at least make a statement. Make her come out and put out a statement like, yo, yeah, I made that fucked up joke in the past. This is not... Like, something, bro. Something. But, like, just to blanket, like, let that fly, that is kind of fucked up. And I would see why any Jewish person... You don't even have... This has nothing to do with Zionism. 0. That is just a joke. That is just like an anti-Semitic joke.
Have no doubt left. There's still enough remaining that Amazon has not been forced to intervene. And I would encourage anyone using Twitch to contact advisors as soon as they're served to you. If you use Twitch, if you're watching, when you get an ad, write them and say, hey, I would like to know why you are spending directly your dollars to support violent extremism. Why are you supporting a platform that sanctions?
Do the same when an ad comes up on H3. Do the same when they promote gamer subs. Do the same thing when they promote whatever mushroom fucking coffee that they're drinking. Whenever H3 has an ad, also do the same thing. It's only fair.
Protects safe.
They're spreading dangerous anti-Palestinian propaganda. They're spreading Zionist propaganda. They are indirectly leading to the normalization of the killing of Palestinians through their rhetoric.
Encourage, promote language like what Hasan just deployed against Hila and show them that. Why is Hasan on the homepage every day? Every day when I go there. Why? I want to give a shout out to AT&T, by the way, who recently has been telling...
He's on the homepage because he's one of the biggest creators on the platform. Doesn't that make sense?
People that they sponsor on Twitch that Hasan's not allowed.
Watch doing the streamer games. AT&T is part of the sponsors, and AT&T doesn't fuck with me. It is what it is.
So they asked Ludwig, Hasan's friend, who, by the way, who very bravely was like, hey, listen, buddy, you can't be in my videos anymore. I'm going to be your friend. I'm going to openly support you and you know, encourage you. My girlfriend's going to do a podcast with you, et cetera, et cetera. But AT&T, they're crazy. They don't want you in any of our videos. You know, shout out to AT&T. Let's see more of this.
Did Ludwig actually say, dude, I fucking hate Ludwig, bro. I've always said it. He's so vanilla. Even QT Cinderella, folks. Hot take, I'm saying it here. I don't fuck with Ludwig or QT Cinderella. Look, I don't even know any of these fucking Twitch streamers. They are like nothing people. They are a vortex of charisma. I don't know what they have to offer, but like Ludwig and the whole Mango situation, I'm sorry. Ludwig unleashed an alcoholic sex pest onto like a crowd of people while they played Mario Kart, kept feeding him alcohol. Then when he sexually harassed everyone, Ludwig was like, oh shit, I don't know why he would do that. Oh my God, let's ban him. Bro, ban yourself, you dumb fuck. What a coward. I can't be in any videos with you. Oh my God. Bro, what do we do on this podcast when one of our friends gets shat on by the H3 podcast? Even if we are standing alone on a hilltop defending them, we will defend our friends. Doesn't matter how unpopular it makes me. You stand by your friends. Ludwig, you are a fucking coward. You are a nothing person. And I hope you enjoy that Red Bull sponsorship. You fucking sell out having a fucking Red Bull thing on your fucking thing. Disgusting.
And less of Hasan in these videos. I am encouraging you guys to pressure advertisers, to pressure Amazon, to pressure Twitch as a last resort. This is a plea for sanity, that something be done before it's too late.
Before it's too late, please, someone ban Hasan from Twitch before they kill my wife. This just keeps escalating, doesn't it? This fucking, how long have we been talking about this? Oh my God. You guys are ready to get some trucking, folks. Ready for some trucking? Ready for on the road again? I can't wait to get on the road again.
Half of myself, my wife, my children, my crew, all whose safety has been compromised, to please help us.
Everyone, his children, folks. That's it. Hasan has endangered his kids, the crew, the wife.
For sanity, that something be done before it's too late. On behalf of myself, my wife, my children, my crew, all whose safety has been compromised, to please help us stop this. This is madness. Thank you.
Yo, my safety's been compromised by Ethan constantly calling me a terrorist sympathizer, anti-Semite. What if I'm walking down the street one day in America on one of my visits and one of your fucking fans runs up to me and is like, hey, don't you support terrorism? Schlag, here's a knife. What then, Ethan Klein? Like, bro, you can't be slinging shit and then accusing people of slinging shit back at you, man. We're in the shit slinging business. Either get with the program or get the fuck out. Sarah Monder, QT catching strays. No, QT ain't not catching no strays. And if QT has such bad taste that she's dating a man like Ludwig, then that also says something about QT. Like, I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. There are no accidents in this world. There are no coincidences. I mean, there are, but like, you know what I'm saying. Folks, this has been an exciting episode. Let me take a second. 1 second. My girl sent me some WhatsApps that I was not able to see. Oh my God, she's making lasagna. It looks so fucking good, folks. I wish I could show you this picture of this lasagna that she's making. Oh my God, that lasagna looks good. I'm in for a treat. Let me just tell you. I'm having some lasagna tomorrow. Okay, folks. That was it for the episode. Let's look at the gaming channel. Have y'all subscribed? We're going to do like an hour of trucking together. Ooh, 843 subbies. Folks, the link to the gaming channel is in the pinned at the top of the live chat. It is also in the video description. I'm going to do some trucking, folks. You guys ready? You guys ready? And I'm also going to play some copyrighted music. Oh, actually, you know what? Madness Arcade. I still owe you some songs, don't I? Let's play Everything's Fine. Madness Arcade. Hey, so this is not my music. This is a recommendation by Madness Arcade as we boot up American Truck Simulator, folks. How about that? Also, we've got a live stream from Nola Magnolia. $2 says over 300 watching. Please like the stream. Nola Magnolia, we love you so much. Okay. Can you guys, the volume okay for the song? This song is dedicated to Madness Arcade. Boom. Okay, let's just catch up with what's happening for a second. Boom. Boom. Everybody, welcome. We're going to be doing some trucking. Oh, my cam. What's I got to fix my camera, folks. My camera was disabled when the power went out. Back to this. Yep, there we're back. We back, folks. We are back. Am I in the right thing? 1 sec. I might have put the camera in the wrong. Oh yeah, 1 second. 1 second. Is it gonna go back, folks? 1 second. Technical difficulties. Everything's failing. Okay. The crew cam's working. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm gonna try this one more time. I think I could use their cam, but it's not gonna work properly. No, it's not. Make this work, babe. All right, let's try one more time. Folks, we done fucked up. More time. Folks, we done. I'm gonna have to say goodbye with Maki. I don't know what the fuck happened. Lost power. Camera got disconnected. Wouldn't come back. It is a sign. But we're gonna be trucking tomorrow, folks. Tomorrow. I'm so sorry. Haley D says $2 and says, "Who's we?" Did I miss any super chats earlier? Noxolato says, "I doubt it's true, but AT&T did ban Hasan because of IDF." What? Harris Asjad sent a $3 super sticker just to be supportive. Thank you so much. I lost power again? What the fuck? Come on, bro. Come on. Work for daddy. Not working. Oh, we just need OBS to respond. Be responsive, buddy. Come on. Okay, come back to this. All right, guys, it ain't working. We'll play some gaming on the gaming channel probably tomorrow night. Okay, I'm gonna be doing some streaming. Let us. Don't forget, folks. Let me take this back over there. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Truck simulator. I'm sorry, buddy. Not today, man. Not today. System quit. I've been silenced, folks. We have been silenced. Would like to thank all of you for tuning in, folks. Thank you to everybody who sent in a super chat, who tuned out. Again, I'm so sorry I'm not here, folks. Let me try to bring the camera here 1 second. Folks, even the Maki cam is frozen. Everything's frozen. Folks, we love you so much. Thank you for supporting the channel. I will be back with... is Bunker Cat live? Okay, wait. Let's go raid Bunker Cat. Let me see. If Bunker Cat is live... Bunker Cat. Oh, he's not live. Fuck. We just got raided by Bunker Cat. What up, Bunker Cats? I was just gonna raid you. Folks, nothing's working here. So Bunker Cats, we're sorry that we gotta leave. W for Bunker Cat. We love the Bunker Cat. Friend of the show. I'm gonna wish you all a goodbye. Even Maki's camera's photo. He's like licking himself, but you guys can't see it. Much love. Sorry for the technical difficulty. Be back tomorrow with a gaming stream. And peace out, baby. As always.
Do not worry.